now. So press the got it button, not the leave meeting button. And then I'm going to mute everybody here. Find your comfortable seat. Let's get to it. So once again, we start with the meditation position, not only to get our mind, breath, body synchronized and linked up, but you are practicing the central channel, crown of head, down through the middle of the body, down through the perineum or floor of the pelvis. And that central channel and line goes through us and supports us so that we can relax everything else. Feel your two buttock bones. The way you can feel them best is lean onto your right butt cheek and then change and lean over to your left butt cheek and feel that there, underneath all the meat of the buttocks, there's actually these bone points, and then center yourself on those two bones, and those are the roots that are going into your seat. So you have your central channel and then the two buttock bones. And eventually when we stand up, that goes down through the legs to the bubbling spring or the ball of foot. Resting hands somewhere comfortable, shoulders soft, neck, jaw. Breathing in through the nose, light hold of the breath at the top, out through the nose or the mouth. In through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. Tending to that space of mastery over your nervous system, that place of ease, not panicking, not stressing, not fearing, the state that the monks and Zen masters and yogis all sought to train. And for our purposes, it's a very practical skill or a practical cultivated state, because from that state, your nervous system will stay low, downgraded, and at ease. So especially when we're moving through space, we want to keep that quiet, clear mind state. Last, just a couple of breaths here. Now our basic warm-up. Hands slide forward past the knees, drop the head, round back. Hands slide back, elbows pull back, lift the chest, look up. Hands slide forward, round back. Hands slide back, elbows pull back, shoulder blades pull back, look up. Two more. Do these last two with as little effort as possible, meaning you're just melting. You're soft. Think like an octopus. Just tentacles, liquid flesh, sort of melting and moving with ease, as opposed to tension and rigidity. And just let the joints slide across and around through their relationships with each other. Settle to the middle, same vibe, same feeling. Go into your twist, left hand forward, right elbow, pull back, rotation. And then switch and do the rotation to the other side. So again, this is not about how far you can crank your body and twist, but more about how soft can you remain while you glide through through and thread through these 4 twists to each side. So once you learn the exercise, and it's pretty simple, then it's just round after round of polishing out unnecessary activity and letting everything feel more liquid, more fluid, more easy. Back to neutral, arms dangle, softly lean right, softly back middle. Last person there wins. Last person up wins. That doesn't mean you stay and then come up really fast. It's soft. And up. Letting go. So think of coming to class and doing the practice as you're going to actually be losing something that you're carrying with you in practice rather than gaining a new skill or a new whatever. It's more like we are sloughing off that which is in the way. So the practice is one of returning or losing or releasing. Let's come back to middle. Shoulder blade circles. I'm going to turn slightly sideways so you can see. Forward, up, back, down. Many of you have been coming to my classes for a while. You know these exercises. For more in-depth look, we do more of that on Friday's class. Circles. This is to unhinge, disentangle the bound up shoulder, chest, upper back complex. That is a place where if we hold tension there, we're top heavy. So therefore, we're easier to fall. And switch directions. Over the top. So again, losing something each round. Cleaning something out. Polishing some space that's got some rigidity. One more. And rest there. Chamber push. Chamber push. Chamber down. Chamber push. So finishing the movement. All the way chambered, all the way extended, all the way chambered, and release. Now, as you put your right foot out there one more time, make sure it's comfortable to hold, point, and flex the foot. Discerning for your brain and body, ankle and foot. Then invert, evert, that little side to side movement. And circles. And other circles. Other direction. And back down. Left leg, pointing, flexing. Invert, evert. Circles. And other direction circles. All right, and down. Swivel steps to open up these hips. We'll go right foot first, lift the toes, turn on the heel, turn the toe out and the knee out. Then the heel goes out and the knee comes in. Toe goes out, knee goes out. Heel goes out, knee a little bit in. And then we open. And then walk it in. Toe in, knee in. Heel in, knee out. Toe in, knee in. Heel in, knee out. Middle. Walk it there and back twice more. 1, 2. Moving from the hip, and open. Pelvis stays stable, other leg pretty stable. Moving part is this free floating right leg out. Walk it back in. And neutral, other leg. Toe out, knee out. Heel out, knee in. Toe out, knee out. Heel out, knee in. And toe out, knee out. Walk it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more there and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, discerning for your brain, leg bone, hip socket, where that movement is occurring. And last time, all the way in. And we're back to middle. Forward folds. So we're very clear on hip hinging over thigh bones. So again, all this stuff is familiar. This is all sort of ABCs, basic upkeep. Hopefully this is a series you're actually, getting the Zoom video out if you don't remember it. Maybe get the Zoom video out and make a little notepad for yourself of this sequence. And then just every day, go through your little ABCs. One more. All right. And then before we stand up, another place that is common for top, making us top heavy, neck, head, jaw. So chin down, chin up, soft. Don't force the head. Just move it through its range softly. Let the liquid body be the way you're controlling rather than tensing all the muscles. And finally, back to middle. Rotation, just turning the head right and left. Just trying to liberate these places where we're grabbing on, our tissue is grabbing, sort of gluing our structure together instead of having it be loosely related through this matrix of liquid and fluid and whatnot. And then finally, the circle. So like you have a little pencil tip coming out of the top of your head, draw a very small circle. Circling. Start very small, right? Don't go for your largest and then go a little bigger. Go slow enough that you're not throwing your body around in some way that feels unpleasant. A little larger circle. On this last one, just let your head hang in front. And like someone grabs the tip of the pencil, pulls your head up, and then go the other way. Draw a circle the other way. Get a little larger, larger. On this last one, let your head hang in front. And then the pencil tip gets drawn up, and we're back to our comfortable seat. Now, slide your feet back a little so they're underneath your knees. Folding forward arms, just reach out front, gesture forward and up. Let's do that a few times. Remember to sit down. I'm going to turn sideways, see a little better. Hip hinge. Everything else loose. Sink the butt. Land. Folding. Up. Folding. Down. 2 more. Standing up one more time. And then just squats. But remember, Tai Chi squats where you let your arms softly hang. Sink your butt. Notice you can get down near the floor with your fingers to where if you dropped your eyeglasses or pencil or something, you can get down that way and come back up, right? So let's say you dropped a pencil on the ground, you need to get it. A lot of people fold this way and it's very scary. Instead, the butt goes back. You sink the butt, your arms just hang, and you get down to the pencil, you grab it, and then you push through the earth, and you come back to standing, and at no point were you really at risk. 2 more like that. All these movements can be executed with pretty much 0 effort. Now, from your standing position, lock your knees back, right? Locked. Notice that that feels somewhat stable, but it's actually brittle stable, like standing on stilts. And then just let the knees be softly open and bent. And notice you can maybe see in my leg how it has the shape almost like an archer's bow. So now I'm locking my knees back. Notice how the shape changes of the leg. And then when I unlock the knees, it starts to have a sort of round quality to it. But notice I'm not bending my knees. Notice how here that actually hurts the knee and it starts to have a very angular shape. So find this middle place between, go ahead and lock your knees one final time and then just softly unlock. And that's about perfect, right? It's about where you want to be. Then with those softly open legs, tip a little bit forward on the toes. So again, I'll turn sideways. You can see sort of leaning and then back towards middle. And now as I go back towards my heels, I don't let my upper body fall back so much, but it's more the middle. But I'm back in my heels and my toes are lightly near the ground. And then tip forward. And tip back. And notice again, you can execute this with no effort. Notice if you're grabbing on with your arms, as commonly happens, can you not do that? Let yourself be looser, softer, more at ease. So we're buying real estate by relaxing, first off, and then noticing how we can move and tip and lean just right where we are in space. So we, instead of feeling like one rigid pole, we have more loose, easy quality through the body. Next time you're in your toes, stay there and just arrange yourself more to your right toes, right ball of foot. And then come back to the middle and arrange yourself more to the left ball of foot. And notice this is working all the muscles of your hips in a very relaxed way. It can be loosening things up, just loose and easy arms. Try not to be grabbing on, just relax. And just, even if you're moving a lot less than me, more important is that you're relaxed. Okay, so now we're in the fronts of our feet. Come over to the right foot, stay in the right foot, and go back towards the right heel. Now stay more in the heels and go side to side. Loose, moving from this middle. Rather than sometimes what I see is people leaning and tipping their shoulders, thinking they're doing it, but instead notice when I'm doing it, I'm not changing those relationships. I'm just moving my middle over here, loose, easy. Next time you're in the left heel, stay there, come forward to the left toes, go back to the left heel, forward to the left toe. So this leg is emptier, this leg fuller, and we're just going heel, toe, heel, toe. One more, heel, toe. Now stay in the ball of the foot, come across. Now we're in the right foot, go back, heel a little bit, and toe. Staying in the right foot, staying in the right foot. Heel, or toe rather, and then heel. So the whole time I'm over here, and I'm going to the toe of the right foot and the heel of the right foot. So heel. Now the next time you're in the heel, stay there, go across the heels and come up to the toe on the left side. Come across the toe. So now we're sort of making a bit of a circle down under the ground. So this upper body is just going around. We're buying real estate for ourselves. Notice some of you are grabbing your arms behind your back. Better to let them hang. Just let them hang. This is a way of grabbing on for safety, but it's not training this feeling of ease. Switch directions of the circle. Come up the right, across the toes to the left, back along the side of the left, and around the heels back to the right. Circle, still from the middle. Notice whether you're here or there, forward or back, left or right, the middle is the same. And finally, back to the middle of the middle of the middle. Now, push your hips to the right, let your upper body lean a little left. Push your hips to the left, let your upper body lean a little right. Push the hips over. Hips, move over. Hips, move them over. Back to the middle. Hips, forward, forward, middle, back a little, like you're gonna take a squat, but you don't. And then middle, forward a little bit, middle, back a little bit. Middle. Now, forward, and let's go with a hip circle. Around to one side. The hips have to lead. So buying real estate, internal real estate. Switch directions, circle. Now the other way. And middle. So we've defined our space, we've freed up or had the opportunity to free up areas where we might be grabbing and holding. Now let's begin our sort of proper exercises for walking here. So now, right hand on right chair, put the weight in the inside leg for these exercises. And make sure the chair behind you have enough room so it's a little bit back behind you. Swing, 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 loose. So if I turn sideways, you can see the moving part is up here. What often people do is they swing forward good, they bring it back, and then they bend the knee. Swing forward and bend the knee. And what they never get is this loose hip, like a pendulum. Loose hip. Loose. Now, the next time the leg is back, keep it back, bend the knee, bring the foot all the way forward and out in front, and swing it back. Swing it back. So again, that looks like this from the side. Swing, 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 swing. Two more. Now we switch directions on that. Swing it forward. Come up, tuck, reach the leg back, swing forward, reach back, swing, from the hip, swing, 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 two more, swing, and swing. Good, switch legs, switch sides, so you just do a little side step over, pendulum swing. It looks like this. Then like you're gonna skateboard, bring the foot up, over, and out in front, swing back. Swing. Swing. From the side, again, that looks swing. From this hip, swing. Switch directions, swing forward, up, tuck, reach back, swing. swing, 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 and done. Back to this other side. So now you're on the right side, weights on the inside leg, out, in, out, in. Notice the weight stays over here. This is a loose hip, and it goes out, in. One more, out, in. Now the foot comes forward, around a circle to the back, and then comes up through the middle, around, around. So from the side, right, we're getting this circular experience for the leg bone and the hip socket. Switch directions, go back, out, and around to the front. Round to the front. Round. Round. And switch sides, side step, shift. Out, in, out, in, loose. And the circles. Foot comes forward, skates around to the back, forward, around to the back, forward, around to the back, forward. Switch directions of the circle, back, around to the front, back. Loose hip, free hip, and switch sides. Left leg should be your empty leg, turn out. Neutral, in, neutral, out, neutral, in. Now, skipping neutrals, go out, in. Loose hip, in. There's a little bit of movement in the upper body and the pelvis. There's like a little bit of sort of residual movement, opening and closing, but the main mover is this leg. And switch sides. External, neutral, internal, neutral. And skipping neutral, just going turned out, in, out, in. Two more. And in. Now, come across, back to this first side. Now, the inside leg, so if your hand is on the right side of the chair, the right hand on right chair, then right leg empties. So empty the right leg so the weight's in the outside leg and bring that right foot in front, heel touching the ground. Level one, shift your weight into your right leg and get to the empty quality in this back left leg. So you're on the tip of the toe, you see I'm wagging the foot a little bit. Then rock back and get to the tip of the heel and notice I can wag the foot. Right? I can wag it because I don't have weight in it. If I have weight in it and I try to wag it, my whole body has to move. But if I'm out of that leg, it's free to just move. Then I change that and shift into that leg, and now my back leg, so unweighted that it's free to wiggle. Now we get rid of that wiggling and we just flow. Forward, back, forward, back. One more at level one. Now, forward, pause, disconnect the left foot from the ground so the toe comes up, the toe goes right back where it was. We shift back. Now, pause here. The heel lifts up by emptying the hip, and we come back down and shift. Lift, lower, shift back. Lift, lower, shift forward. Some of you have hand on chair, great. Others of you feeling a little more confident, maybe you play with hand hovering over the chair and just kind of sliding along your support without actually holding or grabbing. Now, level 3, be in your left foot with your right leg empty, lift, and set that heel back down. Let's do that twice more. So it's just this lift and down. So you got your hand on your chair as needed, lift, down. Now shifting into that front foot, back foot. Not only pick that foot up off the ground, but bring the knee forward and up and reach the toe back, touch the toe where it's touching. Again, up, back. One more, up, back. Now we shift back, lift, lower, shift. Then that back foot, lift, reach it back, shift. Teacup on your head, lift and lower without any tea spilling. Shift without any tea spilling. Back foot, lift and return, no tea spill, and shift. 2 more just like that. Turn the heat off here. Now, step that right foot back, side step over to your other chair, or just change your body so you're ready for this other side. Take your inside leg, empty it. It should be your left leg now, left hand on the chair or your support. Level 1 exercise. Shift. Notice here, I can waggle my foot because there's no weight in it. And then shift back, get to where I'm on the tip of the heel, and I can just easily waggle this left leg because there's no weight in it. And then shift. Now the weight's in the left leg and the right foot is movable. And then shift back, left foot move. Now let's just go into the flowing version where it's forward, back. No rush. Just working on conditioning the tissues and nervous system to get comfortable with this changing of the guard, changing of which leg is your support beam. Now it's the left, and now it's the right, and having it be very clear which one you're relying on so that the other foot is free to step or do whatever it needs to do. Level 2, we lift by emptying the hip and just lift a straight leg and lower down, and then shift. Once the back foot is empty, then we're free to bend the knee, pick the foot up, set it back down, shift. Once this is waggleable, then we're ready to just lift, lower, shift. Wait for it to be in that easy state. Lift, lower, shift back. Lift, lower, shift. One more. Now, stay in your right leg, left leg empty. Not only lift, but then bend the knee and bring it up to this chamber. Set the heel down softly. Do that twice more. Lift, lower, lift, lower, shift. Back foot, not only picking the foot up, but also bringing the knee forward and up. Then reaching that foot back, toe touching where it was just touching. Do that twice more. Forward and up. Back. Forward and up. Back. Now the flowing version. Shift back. So again, imagine the teacup on your head here. The leg lifts and lowers empty without spilling a drop of tea. Then we shift without spilling any. Then we bring the knee up and reach the toe back without spilling. Shift. Up. Down. Shift. Forward and up. and down, shift, up, down, shift. Clearing and freeing these pathways of movement, and then retaining our stillness, our still center. That's really the heart of what we're doing here. Okay, step back, change sides again. Inside leg empty, set up just like we did for the previous exercise. Now the only difference is here, we're shifting into the right foot, waiting for this left foot to be empty. Once it's empty, swings through and the heel touches. Shift. Wait for this toe to be empty. That's it. We don't go any further forward. Now we go back. Shift back. Wait for this front foot to be empty and loose. Swing it back. Toe touch empty. Shift back and get to where the right leg is empty. So now we shift. Wait for it to be empty. Then swing an empty foot. Land an empty foot. Shift. Shift back, wait for it to be empty, swing empty, land empty, shift back. Two more, shift, swing, shift. Shift back, swing back, shift back. Notice anywhere that you're grabbing, holding, or tense that you might not need to be. Because tension holds us out of our root with the earth. Makes us top heavy. Now, level 2, with right leg empty, we lift just like we did before and lower. So that's all from the previous exercise. Now we're shifting. Here's where it changes. Small obstacle on the floor. You got to step up and over it, but it's small. Doesn't have to be much. Put the heel on the ground, out in front, and then shift. Lift back foot, lower back foot. And now we head back the other way. Shift back. There's still an obstacle right on the floor. You got to pick your left foot up, bend the knee to bring the foot tucked under and reach the foot back, toe touching, and then shift back, heel empty. Lift, lower, shift forward. Wait here. This is the step over the obstacle. Up and over, land an empty foot. Land an empty foot, right? I saw some of you fall into that foot, and that's where falls happen. When we overcommit into that leg, instead of stay over here where you know you're safe and set up your landing, and then you shift. Back foot up, down, and we go back. Same idea, shift back. Foot lifts, tucks, and when you reach the foot back, you don't put weight in it. You just reach it back, probing. Then you shift. Lift, lower, shift. Small obstacle. Remember to not commit weight to that front leg. Put it down without weight. Shift. Lift, lower, shift. Up, tuck, reach, shift. Now level 3 is just that stepped up a notch. So instead of just here, it's lift, down, shift. Instead of a small obstacle, it's basically exaggerate the movement of the leg to whatever its maximum is for you. Then shift. And here we go heel to butt and knee forward and up. And then we stop there, we go back. Reach back, toe, shift back. Now it's leg, knee, tuck and reach the toe back with no weight, shift back, and once again, lift, down. Check your teacup. Exaggerated movement of the leg for level 3. Shift. Knee comes forward and up. We stop here and go back. Reach back. Shift. Up, tuck, reach. Back. Up. Down. So again, think of it like real estate. You're buying real estate. You're clearing your yard of debris so you have room to play. Whereas just aging in general starts to encroach in the brain and the nervous system and the body. But Parkinson's just takes that to another level. Now let's go other side, across. Other foot out. So it's inside foot. So it should be your, if you're doing it mirroring me, this is my right, but it should be your left. Got your chair there. Level 1, we shift into that front leg, wait for the back foot to be empty, swing an empty foot, land an empty foot, shift. Shift back, wait for it to be empty, swing, shift back. Shift, swing empty, shift. Shift back, swing back empty, shift back. Check your teacup, check your middle. Stillness through the middle. One more, level 1. Level 2. Lift, lower, shift. Pause here, wait for that foot to be empty. Small obstacle, pick the foot up, step over, and land an empty foot without body weight in. Then shift. Pick up that back foot, put it back down, shift back. Pick up the foot, bend the knee, bring the foot over the obstacle and back without any weight in it. Then shift. Lift, lower, shift. Over the obstacle, shift. Lift, lower, shift. Over, shift. A few more. Level 3, knee up, down, shift, then heel to butt, knee up, foot out, lower that foot, then shift. Knee up, toe back, shift back. Now it's leg, knee, reach it back, shift. Knee up, down, shift. Heel to butt, knee up, foot out, lower, shift. Knee up, toe back, shift. One more. And let's do one more of those. Level 3. Together. Feet shoulder distance, shogun, wings, roll, hands fold over the top in a circling, gathering, stilling gesture, settle mind, and hands down to belly button height. The middle of the middle is the center of belly button height, right in the middle of our belly. And that's where the mind, we want that to drop and settle right there. Rather than be stuck up in the head, we want the head more like a viewport and our solidness, our settledness here in the belly. And arms release down. Side stepping, make your way over to the left side so you have a runway to your right. Your hands can be on the chair. You can use the 2 chairs across from you if you need to. You can always turn the chair to support you. Now, weight goes through the left leg empties, out and in, similar to what we did at the beginning of class. The key here is that what we're not doing is touching the floor out like a ballet touch or something. We're trying to get the whole foot out, so my heel's on the ground, my ball of foot is on the ground, and I'm coming in. And if I'm standing up stiff like this, the only way I can do that is by falling into that leg. So it's forcing you to find this releasing, relaxing through this left leg, and by that real estate for moving the leg with softness, soft tissue, space between joints. Now, the next time that foot is out, stay out and just shift to that right leg. Shift to the left leg. Same thing. Keep the feet somewhat glued to the ground so that you're buying the real estate of getting across from other places rather than stiff and I'm coming over here and over here by lifting my heels and leaning my body. Right? You can see this is not so buttery and smooth, where this has a different quality to it. Melting my way over, melting my way through over here. And I'm buying it from inside. Now, the next time I'm in the right leg, let's all stay in the right leg. Bring left foot in without any weight in it and back out a few times. And the next time that foot is in, this is an important one, change the weight with your feet very close together. So this is where you really find that mechanism, that internal mechanism of making the left leg your support leg, making the right leg your support leg. And you'll notice my fingers are pointing down, right? Because there's not a whole bunch of left and right needing to happen. It's more let the right leg be your support, so this one empties. And then let the left leg be your support, so this one empties. A couple more. So it's kind of this walking in place thing here. Now, the next time you're in the left leg, stay there, right foot empty, steps out. Shift, getting that real estate from the internals. Once the left foot's empty, bring it in. And then do that little internal mechanism change. Make right leg empty again. Step the right foot out. I'll come in front here. Out. Change. In. Change. Out. Change. How's your teacup doing? In. Change. Out. Change. In. Now let's go back the other way. So we go across, we come in, out, and we change to the left. Step right foot in. Change to the right. Step that left foot out. Change. In. Melt. Out. Melting across. In. Melting down and through to free up this leg. You're going to go there and back again. Each of you has your own different runway space. So when you get to the end of your runway, go back the other way. Step without shifting. Shift without stepping. So step, shift. Step without shifting. Shift without stepping. Step without shifting. Shift without stepping. Continue. Change. 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 Once you get back to your opposite side, and you've done equal amounts left, equal amounts right. Easy as can be. Right, then make it back to the middle. Feet parallel, shogun or closing gesture. This little moment of stillness. The mind rests down to the middle. The hands help that idea by being arranged over the middle, over the belly button. palms facing in, a little bit of space between your belly and hands. And then hands come down and across. Now, rotational steps. Stand in the middle of your chairs. So this is a good setup for that rotation step because then you have chairs pretty much reachable at all times. Empty your left leg. I'll turn this way. Empty left leg. Turn left leg out. Shift onto it and rotate and turn yourself to face left side of the space. And then empty your left leg again, turn it out, shift and rotate and line up. Empty left leg, turn it out, shift and rotate. Check your teacup throughout. Teacup on top of your head. So the step, no spill. The shift and rotation, keep your steady middle. Right foot steps down, you shift into it, turn the left foot out, shift. So if you can find the central channel and relax everything around it, you can use this relaxed body to orient yourself in space with very little disturbance to your balance, to your middle, right? You can accomplish moving through space. The next time you're facing forward, let's go to the right, turning right foot out. Shift and rotate. Empty the right foot, turn it out without putting weight in it, turn it out, then shift and rotate. Right foot turns out, shift, rotate. Right foot turns out, shift and rotate. Right foot out, shift, and just go around a couple more times. These are all very practical movements that we take for granted, that we didn't have to really think about. But whether it's, because of something like Parkinson's, or whether it's just aging in general, or whether it's eyesight going down, or whether it's who knows what, right? There's a host of reasons why we have to reclaim mastery over these simple movements. Now, next time you're facing forward, stay there. Left leg. Instead of turning out, we turn it in and then orient ourselves in that direction. Doing it again, left foot pigeon toes, turns in and then reorient. Left foot turns a little bit in, shift and turn and reorient. A little bit in, reorient. Two times around with this little internal rotation setup, and then shift and reorient your body to that foot. So that empty foot sets up a little landing position, and then we orient ourselves to it. Set up the landing, orient everything else to it. The next time you're facing forward, switch. It's the right foot, pigeon, and then the whole body and left foot orient to it. Empty right foot, it sets itself up, pigeon, and then orient. Pigeon toe, reorientation. Pigeon toe, reorientation. Two times around. And while you're developing the techniques of moving, remember what we're really cultivating, perhaps more importantly, is the stillness inside of it all. Next time you're facing forward, let's finish with this sort of bring it all together, those last two exercises. Left foot turn out. I shift onto it. I set myself up. I'm still balanced. And then I pigeon toe right foot. Shift, and in two steps and a rotation, I'm facing directly away from where I was, 180 degrees. Then I do it again, left foot turns out, shift and turn, and pigeon toe that right foot, shifting, rotating, and turning. Let's go around again. Foot out. Now imagine the teacup and also on top of the head and the stillness in the belly area. That's just resting there. And that stillness never disturbed as you use your octopus tentacles to engage with your environment. Currently, we're engaging with walking, using the floor and using our feet. After you finish this next one, let's go the other way. Right foot turns out. Shifting, turning, you pigeon toe the left foot. Remember, the middle stillness is perhaps the most important part, because that's what we're really trying to cultivate, is how can you be balanced, easy balance, easy stillness, even when you're having to cross a street or step up some stairs. One more time around. Once you get back to facing the front, stay facing the front. And then our finishing little bit, shogun. Hands come down. Inguinal and groin and pubic area and front of hips. So this little section of the body tends to get stagnated. Then around the hips to the tail, the sacrum, up onto the love handles and lumbar spine. Then, like you're squatting, sweep hands down, sit as low as you comfortably can. Hands then come around to the inside of the legs as you stand up, come to the belly button. Once again, rub the inguinal region over the hips to the tailbone, sacrum, lower back. And then, like you're squatting, sitting the booty, arms sweep down around to the inside, or hands rather, and then they come up to the belly. Inguinal, around, and down the outer back side of the legs, around, up the inner front side, and then finally up the outside of the arm to the shoulder. Turn that palm up, sweep down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Other side, up, down, up, down, up, down. And shogun, settle to the middle, and seal your practice. 1, 2. Taoist bow. Thank you, everybody.